Well, hello, hello to all of my lovelies out there. I hope you guys are doing super well today. So, I am coming at you with seemingly timely twin flame updates. And as you will see in the title of this video, I did put twin flames in quotations. Now, why did I do that? If you're here with me on this journey, no matter what it looks like, um, you're kind of probably at the point where you're done associating with the title and the label of twin flame. Personally, I am. I think with everything that I've been through and the self actualizations and the understanding that I have received and just the place that I've come to in my life, I'm really over the associated label of the twin flame. I think if anything, I'm feeling kind of like this collective shift towards people really focusing on themselves, but not really denying that there is still a thing going on, regardless of what people want to call it. So, that is what today's episode is going to be all about. Just kind of updating what's going on in my life and my journey, and yeah, kind of sharing some insight that I've gotten recently within the last couple weeks or so. I mean, it's been months really, but yeah, so if you are new to my channel, my name is Kat, and I am an ancient soul out here just sharing my love and my light and my wisdom, my healing, my story, really just to be relatable. I'm not here to dictate to anyone how they should live their life or even really like give a bunch of advice. More just kind of sharing my own experiences and the things that have worked for me and really just kind of spreading my crazy weirdness with y'all. And as always, I want to thank everyone for being here, even if you're new or returning or you've been here from the start. I just want to thank you so much for all of your love and your support and energy exchange. It's really important for us to really be collaborating in this high frequency at this time. So I thank you so much for being here. But without further ado, I will get started. Um, so this whole thing with twin flames. I don't know about you guys, but I noticed for a while there, um, twin flames were like really, really trending, and then there was this big fiasco with that Netflix series. I want to say it was called The Twin Flame Universe. Please do not quote me because I did not watch it for many reasons, but um, yeah, I felt like after that, there was kind of like almost radio silence. Like nobody really wanted to talk about twin flames. And then now all of a sudden, I've been seeing within the past, I don't know, like 3 to 4 weeks, it's really been trending again. So if you guys have followed along with me, I did mention that at one point I was guided to this channel called New World All Stars. And the host on there, his name is Kurt. He is, yes, the self proclaimed #1 twin flame coach in the world. Um, I really do feel his energy. I mean, no, I don't resonate with every single thing that he says, but not everything is for everyone, so that's okay. Um, but, he's coached thousands and thousands of people, and no, I have not gone through and validated and made sure that every single one of these couples is still together, because honestly, I don't um, I don't care that much. I'm not going to put that much energy into it. However, I do feel like, based on the things that he said, his own experiences, how they correlate with my experiences and relate to my experiences, and then the thousands of people that he's helped coach. Um, it's kind of like thousands of people can't be wrong. I mean, the thing that is being experienced here, again, regardless of the title or the label or whatever it's called, the thing that is experienced is kind of like a scientific anomaly. It is a real thing, and that thing is reincarnation. Um, So it's really fascinating. I came across this video of his just within the last few days, and I haven't really been listening to any readings, like collective readings, tarot readings. I haven't been listening to anything really on Kurt's channel either. But this video just kind of popped up randomly. When that happens, I take it as guidance. So I did listen to it. Um, and it was really just that, like him going into how, I mean, basically anyone that isn't your twin flame is going to be um, like a soulmate or soul family or somebody that you have basically contracted with to come together in this lifetime for whatever reason. And it is vastly, vastly different from your twin flame, because your twin flame is just another incarnation of you um, in the physical realm. So it's basically just two of you incarnated at the same time. And yes, that sounds crazy, but like I said, this is an actual scientific thing. Um, Reincarnation is, I don't feel like it's really something that's debated anymore. I think it's a very globally accepted phenomenon, if you will, if that's what you want to call it. It's a legit thing. So, and honestly, I don't feel like you would be here on my channel and listening to my videos or anything like that if you didn't believe in reincarnation. So, because I feel like that's kind of, at least for me personally, that was really like the basis to this whole journey of mine, and really what started me on the path that I am on. So, and my belief systems and everything like that. So, um, with your twin flame, they basically act as like a catalyst for your ascension. And no, you don't need to incarnate with another soul aspect of you at the same time in order to ascend. However, and this is debatable because people are on both sides of it. I do feel that people that choose this path, they have kind of maybe tasked themselves with a larger mission. What that looks like for me personally, like I've mentioned, I am an ancient soul. I know I've been all around this universe. I've done it thousands and thousands and thousands of times. There's a lot of me that has been fragmented throughout the universe. So, my biggest goal within like the last couple of years, but mostly within the last year, has just been healing. I didn't know why. All of that kind of came to me within the last year. Um, but the primary reason has been to heal all these aspects of me, all these aspects that have lived different lives and been through chaos, been through good things, bad things, high vibrations, low vibrations, all of these things that are kind of still attached. And so I have been releasing all these energies, all these dissonant energies, if you will, attached to these aspects of me prior to calling them back. Um, and now, if you are on a twin flame journey, you can relate, um, and you can acknowledge that your life probably flipped upside down and all around in 183, 60, however many degrees. It's just been, I mean, I'm sure for some probably very chaotic, but it's undeniable that when you encounter this person, your life changed. Um, that's absolutely how it was for me. And I think that's why I can take all of this information and put the puzzle pieces together and be like, yes, this makes sense. Even though my ego wants to say, this is crazy. You don't know this person. Why do you feel this way? But I can't deny that when I encountered him, everything changed in my life. Within 3 months, my relationship of 4+ years completely ended. And no, it wasn't because I had this attraction to this new person and that was the factor. It was, I was going through a bunch of healing prior to even meeting him and encountering him. And there were parts of me that were dormant, or parts of me that I had suppressed, and they were starting to come out, and they weren't really conducive to the relationship that I was in. And so we just decided that separating was going to be the best thing. But then that just even triggered more awakening and more change and more release and more integration and just more and more and more, all of this stuff coming. And I couldn't deny that the more I healed and the more I was finding this love for myself, the more I was feeling that for this person, regardless of the dynamic, the whole, runner chaser thing, which I could get into, but I'm not going to. It changed drastically. Um, so from the start, it was very much like that obsessive energy. You can't get this person off your mind. And then everything flipped, and I was very much guided to start pulling my energy back, start focusing on myself in every way possible, mentally, physically, emotionally, and energetically. And really like having that level of awareness, taking the time to analyze every step I was taking and the moves I was making, and why am I doing this? Am I doing this for myself? Am I following my intuition? Am I doing this for attention? Are there triggers coming up? What shadows are coming up with all of this? It's been a very, very intense transformative journey. And I think that's not, I think, I know that that's the whole point of this. It's not the romanticized, oh, this is your love that you've been separated from and you've been doomed to, search for each other through all eternity, through lifetime after lifetime. I don't feel like that's the thing. I feel that if you decide that this is the journey you're going to do, you're going to incarnate the same time, the same life for this mission or whatever. At least that's my personal experience. I don't feel like I have been doing this lifetime after lifetime searching for this other incarnation of me. I feel like I chose to do it at this time, particularly for a very, very specific reason. Mine being assisting in the ascension of sleeping souls and helping people to awaken. So, that's what that looks like for me. And, but ultimately, regardless of what your situation is, regardless of what your mission is, your twin flame, you choosing to incarnate with another aspect of you in the 3D at the same time, is literally to be a catalyst. Um, it's to catapult you pretty much onto a higher timeline where you're meant to accomplish whatever it is that you tasked yourself with. And the byproduct of that is this beautiful 3D relationship. And why it's so amazing is because, from your perspective, you see things from a higher level, from a 5D perspective. You see this as another incarnation of you, whereas much of society is just going to see two people together. But why it's so amazing is because on this journey of transformation, ultimately what you're doing is you're bringing back all of these parts of you that have been fragmented. And regardless of the shadows, regardless of the darkness, regardless of everything that you experienced with these, the good and the bad, um, you're learning to love yourself, every aspect of yourself, so deeply. And that's where unconditional love comes in. That's like the whole point. The whole point is unconditional love. And you can't experience or feel unconditional love for anyone or anything else until you feel that for yourself. And, some people may argue with me because, they say it all the time that that term is thrown around pretty loosely, oh, I love you unconditionally. I love you unconditionally. And that's no shame or judgment on anybody else. That's just, I feel that people are ignorant to the term, and I was one of those ignorant people. I would throw that around. Oh, I love you unconditionally because I felt this deep, intense love for people. And it's like I still do, but unconditional love is love without judgment. And as long as we are operating from the ego, love is always going to have judgment. And what does that look like? You can say that you love your children unconditionally, you love your family members, your mom, dad, your brother, sister, whatever. You can say that you love them unconditionally, but the moment they do something that you don't prefer or you don't like or goes against your morals or your programming or your standards, that love automatically has a limit. It has a condition. Even though you say that it doesn't, you passing that judgment, you feeling one way or another, um, it's still boxing that love in, I guess, to an extent. So in learning to love yourself, all aspects of you, even the parts that maybe society has deemed to be, I don't know, unwanted, undesired, unpleasurable, whatever, loving those aspects of you and just being like, I don't care, um, I don't feel one way or another. I just love this aspect of me regardless because of all the things that this part of me went through. And that's the thing, even though there's darkness, there's still art, there's still creativity, there's still beauty, there's still talent and skills, and there's so much to that aspect of you. There isn't just the darkness and all the crappy things that you went through. So I think that's important to note as well. So yeah, I think that it's been crazy and transformative, but I mean, if you've followed along with Kurt's videos, he says it himself. He's like, "This is the craziest, most intense, most horrifying, most beautiful experience that you will ever go through." And by the time you get to the end of it, even if you're not at that, that 3D physical union with this person, you're not at that stage yet, you'll be getting to the point where you look back and you are just so grateful that you encountered this person and you were able to go through this transformation, regardless of how chaotic it's been for you. I mean, at least that's where I'm coming from. And like I said, I'm just sharing my experiences with this. Um, the twin flame journey, while it's going to be uh, very, very, very similar. The core of it is going to be similar, but the specifics will vary from person to person because you also have to take into consideration your twin flame is you. So your whole journey is going to be very specific to you as a whole and your personality and all of the things that you've experienced. So yeah. I don't think I want to touch on anything else. Oh, I did want to make a note. I thought this was super cool, crazy, interesting. Um, I was listening to a light language transmission from one of the women that I follow, and it was a light language transmission with also like a message that came along with it, and it was talking about timelines and not timelines like in alternate lives, like literally just timelines within this specific incarnation that you're living in. And I don't want to go into details because it could get kind of confusing and kind of off topic. But she had referenced the show Loki. I was like, yeah, if you're curious or you want to know like more of what I'm talking about, they kind of reference this on the show Loki. So if you're familiar with it, you'll know what I'm talking about. If not, I would highly recommend watching it. So I started watching it based on this whole timeline thing, like thinking it was going to give me insight, right? And what it touched on really was, well, at least what I got from it, it was very, very symbolic of the twin flame journey. Um, so gosh, I really want to get into it, but I feel like if I start explaining it, it's just going to be too much. So if you're feeling called to, start watching that. I think there's like 2 seasons. They're really quick. You'll go through it really fast because, it's Marvel and it's captivating and it's symbolic in so many ways. I love Marvel with how symbolic they are. And yeah, so amazing. So yeah, I think I will leave that there. Please fill me in. Let me know. I know it's been a while since I mentioned anything about twin flames because, like I said, I'm not really associating with the title, the label anymore. Really, just kind of been guided to focus on me, and I've seen crazy drastic results with that. But again, still just living moment to moment. But I'm curious to see where you guys are at on your journeys. I want to see if this has really been a collective shift or, kind of just where you're at, how you're feeling. If you're needing any support with where you're at or you just want to talk about it, like, I'm here for it. And also with this journey, I just feel really compelled to mention how, regardless of what anyone says, it is all about healing. I don't think it's all about healing with the purpose of obtaining or attaining this relationship in the 3D. Like I said, that's just a byproduct of it. Um, but when you really, really focus on healing for yourself, healing to remember who you are, healing to remember why you're here, while still on the back burner, acknowledging that, yeah, okay, this is the byproduct that's going to happen. I feel like the whole dynamic really, really changes. And just a small example of that, really quick. This kind of hit me really recently. I had this self actualization when I had this, I think it was during meditation, but I had this image pop in my head in regards to the whole twin flame dynamic. Because, like I said, it is a scientific anomaly and it was presented to me in this way. So I kind of imagined myself like on a walk, just going for a walk, and the sun was at my back and I could see my shadow in front of me. And then I pictured myself running and running and running as fast as I could. And no matter how fast I ran, I still couldn't ever catch my shadow. Let me know if you're seeing what I'm seeing here. The moment that I turned around in this vision, and I started to face the light, face the sun, go towards the sun, if you will, um, the shadow flips, right? So then you start walking or running toward the sun. Now your shadow starts to chase you. My mind was blown when this popped in. So I'll let that sit there, let you sit with it, and let me know if that resonates. Let me know if that helps you in any way. I really needed that self actualization. Because I couldn't just wrap my head around it. I think with all of the messages that are sent and all of the stories, it just leads to confusion on this journey. And ultimately, like I said, it's all about your awakening. It's all about your ascension. And then in doing that, in learning to love yourself unconditionally, you get to reunite with this whole aspect of yourself that assisted you in this process, assisted you on this journey. And the byproduct of that is this beautiful 3D um, reunion. And I would say most people probably choose the romantic side of it. Some people, it's just a friendship or like, a platonic relationship or something. But ultimately, in finding that unconditional love for yourself, you have that for this soul aspect of you. And then you, as a whole, as a couple, are this beautiful, reality shattering example of true unconditional love. And it's just so magical. So I really am going to leave that there. I love you guys so much. As always, love, light, and blessings to you beauties. If you haven't already and you would like to, please join our tribe. But if not, I'm just so grateful that you are here for this message to share your love and your light. The energy exchange is just really so important. So, again, I'm just so grateful that you're here for it. And I hope it helped you in whatever way that you needed. I love you so much. Take care and enjoy the rest of your day.